So welcome back. I thought I'd give you an update on my new Mini, the blue Cooper S that I bought at auction recently. So what's been going on? A lot. It is expensive. Right, so far we have had an oil service and I had a report from the mechanic. He also does a health inspection. So that cost me, I won a competition with him actually. I won a Facebook competition, so the service only cost me £93.50, but it should have been an extra £62. So yeah, oil service done. And I got a report from that, if I can find it. So, additional work required. Of course there is. Near side front top mount deteriorated. So the top mounts are a common issue on these. We had to have them replaced on the other one because the steering was really dry and creaky. On this one the steering's alright, but I think it's on its way out, so 2 top mounts needed. Coolant strength -7 degrees. So he said a coolant change is required. There's an oil leak. Of course there is. It's a Mini. Offside rear exhaust hanger broken. That's not an expensive job. Rear discs corroded, which I kind of knew that. They don't look particularly great. Then I've also took him for a gearbox service this week. So it's had a fluid change at the cost of £182 and a used parking sensor. My reversing sensors, all it was a sensor. So the rear left one needed changing. He's changed that. They work great. So that's one other thing done. However, I took it for the gearbox service because if you remember from my last video, I said the gear change wasn't that smooth once it got warm. When I went down to the garage, it was about 20 minutes drive, 25 minutes drive, and as I was getting closer, the gear change was getting worse. I've not really been driving this car because of that, and you've experienced it now, haven't you? And you said it feels like you're changing gear without putting the clutch in. So yeah, the garage, I told them about the problem. He did the fluids change. He road tested it before and after the fluid change. He said it's not improved. It's not improved. And what he said is customer requested changing gearbox oil as gear change is snatchy when at operating temperature. Car road tested prior to works to witness fault and vehicle snatches upshift to gear, but worse in third and fourth with occasional loss of drive under harder acceleration. Lift off throttle and drive re-engages. Gears don't snatch as much on downshift. Manual operation of gears still has snatch on upshift and downshift. After oil change, vehicle re-road tested and gearbox faults have not improved in our opinion. So, yeah. That's where I'm at. So if anyone knows anything, I've got a friend who has had a similar issue who recommended a garage to me. We're looking at possibly solenoids, which is going to be expensive, but it is what it is. It's an old car. It's just a bit of a pain, so I'm hoping it's not too expensive. I've had other bits of advice saying you can reset the ECU, and there's also on the dash I'm getting an EP warning, which stands for emergency program, I think, which is like a limp mode for your gearbox. So the car must realise something's not right and it's put it into a limp mode. But coming home from the garage the other day, I was accelerating to join the motorway slip road. The revs just went straight into the red and it was just, there was no power. So I had to pull over onto the hard shoulder, panic, think about what am I going to do because I couldn't turn around. And then I just waited for all the traffic to join. Tried again, got up to speed, but I had to use the flappy pedals to get myself up to like 60-70 miles an hour and then just stay there. So yeah, it's not very fun driving this car at the moment. I've got a list in my phone of my to-do list. So the gearbox, which I've already told you about. I'm also looking at a supercharger service because that's probably due. The top mounts, coolant change, exhaust, hanger and discs and pads I've already mentioned. Wheel nuts, the wheel nuts are a bit rusty, so I want to change them. The radio button's not working. The rubber trim on the back of the roof, that needs replacing. The rear window, I need to remove the window tint with a hairdryer and get all that off. We could do some new mats, and I need to swap the reg plates.
And a pop and bang exhaust. Pop, pop, bang.
But not a pop and bang exhaust.
You want a pop, pop, bang?
No.
Here we go.
So yeah, that's where we're at. It's just a bit of a pain, isn't it?
The gearbox one's a bit of a strange one, because it's fine for the first 20 minutes until it gets warm.
Well, it's getting worse though as I'm driving it, and I haven't, if I'll just have a look, haven't done that many miles in this. What was it on? I've probably done 120 miles or something. I haven't done much in it. So when I picked it up, it was alright. It didn't really, I think later on in the drive, because we did have a bit of a drive around in it, it did start to go a bit jumpy, but it wasn't so bad. And then I took it to work for a couple of days, and it was on the way home it started to get a bit worse. Then since then it just seems to be getting worse each time I'm driving it, so I think it's time to take it up to this garage who hopefully can help me get it diagnosed, and they can just keep it for as long as it needs to get the work done. But yeah, if anyone's got any advice, then please do let me know.
We'll have to go back to that comment on the previous video about the shopping list of stuff that he did.
Yeah, there was a few really helpful comments, people telling us that what things you expect to have worn out by now, things that are like preventative maintenance, and yeah, we have had some really helpful comments. Yeah, I just want to be out in it. I want to get it done ASAP, ready for the summer, and hope it doesn't cost me too much money. But if we're looking at stuff like solenoids and get like this sort of gearbox work, I know it's going to be expensive, but that's just one of those things you've got to deal with an older car.
As we've said all the way through, we were aware that we weren't going to get a perfect car from the auction.
No.
So it's not like we've sort of gone, he's going to be a show class car. We know that.
Yeah.
But it's the one that you wanted. It's the one, it's out of all the others that we've been looking at, we've gone back towards Mini, haven't we? And
this is the exact spec of Mini that I wanted. It was everything I wanted. I just need to get it right now. And there's one other thing I have had done actually. So I've had some paint work. The paint work is really, really good. There was just some lack of peel on the rear driver's wheel arch, which I'll show you what's been done. So that's been done by the Paint Asylum, he's done lots of work on our cars in the past. If you're in the North Wales, I think he will travel a little bit, but he's based sort of North Wales. The Paint Asylum he's called. He's amazing, really, really good. Tell him that you watch us and he'll sort you out. But yeah, I'll show you that in a minute. So that was £130 for the wheel arch to be repainted. Looks amazing. So the bodywork on this car is 9 out of 10, isn't it? There's like the odd scratch, but it's really good. So yeah, it's just time to get these other things done. And I thought I'd just let you know what's going on with my car. And hopefully the next one is more positive and I can tell you what's happening and how much it's cost me. Right, so I will end there, I think, and we will see you soon.
Bye-bye.